about what their next plan in life is. And I see the people that fail a lot are the ones that did not have that hard conversation at the kitchen table. And unfortunately, or fortunately for me, like my wife has, I think all women have instincts that us men just don't have.
Mhm.
And
That's putting it
and
lightly.
they know when if something feels off, they can feel it. And usually if my wife tells me something ain't right, I trust her. So what was that, talk at the table like when, your career was coming to an end and you wanted to start public speaking and writing your book because you had to have that talk,
Well,
right?
yeah, but it's not. It's different because I met my so I retired from the NFL when I was 27. So I didn't meet my wife till I was 31. So to have that talk with her after I filed a bankruptcy, after I've been fired from two jobs, and after I had to literally start over again, I was a custodian making $8 an hour, and to have her, have her have to, have me have to have that call with her, well, not call, that sit down with her was hard because, you're trying to get into speaking. People are like, well, what are you thinking? And I had no experience in it. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I totally get where she was coming from. It's hard. But what the deal we had is, absolutely, Marcus, you can do it, but don't stop working. You're going to keep working as a custodian. You're going to keep working coaching football, and you're going to do this as a side hustle. And that's what it was. It was a true side hustle. And it was a lot, you know? And so that's what
Yeah.
so that was our deal. And we held the deal and it went well, and that was that.
And I think that, people that are successful, I'm not saying I'm successful, but they have that true ride or die with their partner and their mate. They know that, when the stuff hits the fan, she's got my back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, in life, if things are okay at home, you can deal with everything else.
Yep.
But it's when things that you can have the whole world, but if things aren't right at home, it seems like everything just gets amplified. And that's when a lot of people lose everything, is when things aren't right at home.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I agree. Absolutely. And the thing is, here's the thing, Richard. Like, you have to have what I call the valiant conversations. You have to have those real nitty gritty, down to earth, fiery. Sometimes it's not going to be pleasant conversations with people, and you're going to have to make the tough decisions. Like my wife could easily told me, "No, you're not going to do this. You're going to stay with this, and this is a pipe dream." If that's what she would have said, would I have fought her? Maybe, but probably not, because in the state I was in at the time, broken and just like beat down, that probably wouldn't have happened. So, she allowed me to do what I wanted to, but I had to make the promise to her I wasn't going to stop working to support the family while we had our young child, who is now 6.5, and my wife wasn't working. So that was always our deal.
One thing I love about you is I love the comeback story. I love that, people can relate to you being in the NFL and having all that to being a janitor, or custodian. A lot of people can relate to that. And a lot of people can realize that, everybody knows me as the comeback coach, but everybody loves a comeback story. And you're like the ultimate comeback story. Like if Rocky didn't win in the belt in Rocky 2, Rocky 3 would have never came. Everybody loves that comeback story. So can you find that you're more relatable than a lot of the NFL players in the past and
Yeah,
present?
because
Because you
yeah,
are so
well,
relatable.
yeah, because I failed miserably in a business, and I feel the ones who have success in business or fail in business make it different. But again, my business failure happened so quickly. It took me 5.5 years to build the business, Richard. It took me 3 months to lose it, pretty much. As a result of that, it put me in a standpoint where everything was, in that whole position of, wow, you know, this is a very expected process for me, because of the fact that I can do this, I can relate to many people. And what that whole process did, it made me realize I was very relatable and that I could help get things done for people, and as a speaker to bring to them that overall process.
Okay. Now, last couple of questions, and I know you got a chock full of day of stuff to do. When a person, they say, "Oh, I'm going to write a book," and then they publish it and they put it out on Amazon. They think they're going to make $1 million and become famous. And when they put their book on Amazon and it's crickets, they don't realize that you actually have to work when you put a book out to actually get the word out. So when you published your book and put it out, what kind of steps did you have to take to be successful?
You have to market your book. If you don't market the book, nobody's going to be able to buy it. And I think people sometimes only lean on their inner circle. And when they do that, it does not equal what they expect in sales, and people get frustrated, they get upset. And unfortunately, that is, it is what it is. And it's not the best place to be in, because launching a book is really hard work. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of behind the scenes work. It's a lot of foundational work. And it's not going to be a get rich quick scheme unless you're like LeBron or even, they'll make, it's not a money making thing unless you're LeBron, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. If you're not that, it's a lot of process to get it going in that regard.
I totally agree, because it takes, like you said, it takes a lot of hard work. But now, talking of your books, how do we find your books? How can we get in touch with you? How can we get you booked for speaking gigs, and also for you to coach us? How do we
go to our website, www.marques, MARQUES, Ogden, OGDEN.com. Go to the website, take a look, connect with us, and, we'll be able to see what your problem is or your pain point is and chat with you and see if we're able to help you in some capacity and go from there. And I think it's a great thing for people to, to understand and really just, focus on.
And last question I ask everybody, because I love, I ask 100 different people and I get 100 different answers. In the busy world that we live in, if I ask somebody to do something in 7 days, they're pretty much never going to get to it. But if I ask somebody to take an actionable step in the next 24 hours, they're more likely. So if somebody's struggling with their business, what can they do in the next 24 hours to start to right the ship?
They've got to what they've got to do is they've got to have a meeting with their team if they have one. And if you don't have one, you have to realign your goals and figure out what your target audience is buying. And from there, attack that and get out in front of them with what you can get done. That's what you have to do. And if you can do that, then it's gold. But if you have 24 hours to turn around, you got to figure out what your target audience is. So you need to either meet your team if you have one. If you don't have one, be with yourself, but you have to realign the goals, figure out what is your target audience buying, and how can you get that product or message in front of them to start increasing sales.
I love that. Marques, thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with me today. I appreciate you so much. And if I didn't mention it in the beginning, thank you so much, most importantly, for being a brother in Christ.
Absolutely, my friend. I love it, man.
And now I know I met you. I consider you a friend and a family, and we have, several acquaintances that we're friends with. And I hope this is just the beginning of the relationship.
It definitely is, my friend. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Well, God bless you. Tell your brother I said hey, and have an amazing, blessed day.
You the same, man. Have a great day. Talk to you soon, Rich.
All right, brother. Goodbye.